What is a quintessential American experience that every tourist should have? Visiting a national park. United States has a lot of things good and bad, but its abundance of breathtaking and well taken care of national parks is probably one of its biggest strengths. Next to its number of aircraft carriers, of course, Lowell have a cheeseburger and fries in a 24-hour diner, ideally one that has a lot of chrome and looks unchanged since the 1950s. If you can, go to a national park or nature preserve. It doesn't need to be a big name one. Wherever you go, there will always be something unique about it, especially since each state has its own ecosystems. As an European, I'd say go see a sport match there. It is very different mood from what we do in here. The quintessential American experience for tourists from Europe is discovering you can't combine all the ideas in these comments in 1 week because there's so much distance and traffic between them. You're better off thinking of the state you land in as the country you're visiting. Lots of folks from overseas, when visiting in the Central Texas area, want to eat Tex-Mex, shoot guns, ride a horse, eat barbecue, actually drive a long highway at 80 miles per hour, and visit some museums like NASA or even the Alamo. College football tailgate game at one of the major Big Ten or SEC schools. What a wonderfully unique American experience! Check out a minor league baseball game. They have awesome stadiums, great fans, and it's usually pretty inexpensive. Get drunk in the Midwest with the wateriest of beers, then give your buddy sober, maybe the keys, and go to Waffle House at 3 a.m. Most Americans' thing I can think of is either go to a dude ranch or a rodeo. My personal favorite would be a swamp boat tour in New Orleans and then get some jambalaya and beignets. Visiting Zion Canyon National Park, Bryce Canyon National Park, and Monument Valley, Utah, which can easily be done on one trip. I did that several years ago. If the Oregon coast has many, depending on where you go, you won't have the ability to maybe see a national park or have the food from the region of the country you want. But every single town in the country has a greasy cafe diner. Go to one for a proper American breakfast. A small town with a festival or a county fair going on. Fair food, anything fried, carnival rides, and lots of people watching. The quintessential small town America experience. Being aggressively passed by an oversized pickup truck on a country highway while you're driving the speed limit. Disneyland. Las Vegas. While you're in the area, check out the Hoover Dam, Grand Canyon, and Death Valley. Also, while you're in the area, check out Zion NP, Bryce Canyon, and Arches on your way across the Rockies to Denver. New York City is the most international city in the US. Lots to see there. Hiring a convertible. One for the novelty, but mainly because there's no other way to get around than to drive or get cabs. A baseball game. Though I once went with a German friend and didn't realize how complicated it actually was until I had to explain what was going on. Go to Southern California and you can experience most biomes of the entire country. Sunny beaches, rainy forests, snowy mountains, sandy dunes, boggy swamplands, rolling grasslands. All of these things are more or less within 3-hour drives of each other. The weather is the best, plenty of shopping and recreational activities, and many historical landmarks. Attend a college football game at one of the biggest stadiums. Nothing else in the world is like this. A bill from the local hospital for $17,365.14 because you got food poisoning. Who knew children shouldn't be in charge of food safety? All of the getting shot at comments. Betting all are non-Americans. To be honest, I'd say something along the lines of going to an American football game. The whole experience. Overpriced beer, dried out week-old concession food, etc. Oh, and go to a shooting range, Cosmerica. I'd say driving Route 66, I'm from NM and wanted to do it after high school but never did. Still on the bucket list. As an American, this thread made me realize I haven't had a lot of American experiences. I'd also say visit a national park, but pick one of the less busy. They're spectacular too. Going to a state fair or going to an American college American football game and tailgating is pretty uniquely American, assuming you have plenty of time and money. Visiting the Colorado or Montana. Visiting Times Square. Visiting Texas during the state fair. Good ones here already, but a baseball game for sure. I've been outside US for like 16 years now and still every summer miss baseball. Bonus points for going to Wrigley. You're gonna have a good time. On a summer night, near dusk, eat an ice cream cone in the parking lot of a Dairy Queen with the local teens. Drive the Coast Highway 101 from Oregon to California. Beautiful beaches. Great camping. Small towns quite often. Redwood Forest. Spend some time outside of the big cities. The big city experience is pretty much the same anywhere in the world, But in smaller cities and rural areas you get the unique American experiences. Hahaha, look at me, I'm going to post stuff about hospital bills and school shootings because I am a dumb fuck European dipshit with nothing original to say. Not going here. This place isn't tourist friendly and has little to no public transit. Also, this place sucks. Gun range, rent 10 different firearms and end with a full automatic machine gun. Bring a credit card, it's gonna get pricey. Getting shot at. Open carried weapons of war. Tent cities because we don't care about our citizens. Homeless population with rampant mental health issues. A $15,000 itemized medical bill on which one pair of non-sterile latex examination gloves are billed at $80 to hand over to their shock travel insurance because of a broken rib. Source: personal experience. Stay in the cities if you're not white. In the South we have a concept called sundown towns where people can hurt you there if you're there after dark. That said, check out the highway, tourist traps, giant ball of yarn, etc. Nothing more American in the positive sense. Paying for health insurance. It is a quintessential American experience that a lot of first-time tourists forget about. Mount Rushmore is a monument to an atrocity, but it's still one of the most impressive and unique sculptures that has ever been created by man. Do a road trip. Lifestyle in the US is heavily centered around cars. There's drive-through the fast good, drive-through coffee, drive-through car washes, and even drive-through ATMs. Depending on what time of year you go, but hit a baseball game. It's really fun in the summer. You can get a beer and snacks. Sit out and enjoy yourself. Edit in a taco truck. There's something unique about every taco truck and you can try great tacos, a hot dog and a beer at a baseball game on a summer afternoon. If you have a visitor from across an ocean, bring them to a baseball game. They don't need to understand or care about baseball. Use it as an excuse to watch people and have a hot dog in a big league stadium. Drive across the country on secondary highways, stay at family-owned motels and eat in local diners. Then, you will experience America. Come to the Midwest to experience an sneaking by, or the famous Midwestern goodbye that lasts about 1-2 hours or so. Going to a baseball game and eating Cracker Jacks, or a hot dog if you're allergic to peanuts. And go to Times Square and buy a giant pretzel and take pictures with bootleg Disney characters. Being shocked at the price of an item rings up at the register way higher than what the sticker says. Taxes will F you up here. Took my Norwegian cousins to Hooters and ordered a basket of tater tots. Needless to say, this was one of their favorite stops on their USA tour. Stopping on the line on a major city to have a pedestrian with a strong New York accent yell, "Hey, I'm walking here." Thanksgiving. When I had my French exchange student, we made typical Thanksgiving food and chow down. She said it was fun to experience. Eat fast food. Burgers, fries, hot dogs, chicken, etc. I loved Popeyes. Try the food in food trucks. Go to national parks. Road trip interstate. Autumn is the best time. Watch a sporting event, for example NBA or NFL. Spend sleepless nights in Vegas. Drink some beer and smoke some weed. As an American, this thread made me realize I haven't had a lot of American experiences. I'd also say visit a national park, but pick one of the less busy. They're spectacular too. Go to a state fair in the Midwest. For all the good and the bad, it is peak Americana. Then go see Yellowstone. Go out west, see Yellowstone, Yosemite, various mining and gambling towns, Badlands. There are tons of natural wonders out west. This is kinda like asking what is a quintessential European experience. Both places are too huge and diverse to really answer the question. Shoot a gun? Go to St. Louis to see the Arch, catch a Cardinals game and have thieves break out the windows in your car while you're in the stadium. If you're really lucky they'll just steal it. Standing in the airport security line for an hour or more to eventually get yelled at to take off your shoes and everything out of your pockets. Some gun ranges have licenses for machine gun rentals, so that, I mean, who wouldn't want to shoot a belt-fed? One quintessential American experience that every tourist should consider is exploring the national parks. See if a state fair is going on. Go to it. See a marching band or parade. Go to drive-in movies. Anything that has ranch on it. Eat it. Take an overpriced ambulance ride and then experience the thrill of either paying the bill off or feeding your children that week. Whenever you visit a new region of the US, take a food tour or cooking class. Most will incorporate local ingredients and flavors, while teaching the culture and history that go into each dish. They'll also have lots of good local recommendations. The US has a huge and varied food culture, and it's a lot of fun to try out all the varieties. Better yet, have a cheeseburger while wearing a cowboy hat and listening to Elvis on the jukebox. Go people watching at a Walmart. Bonus points if you buy a 10-gallon drum of mayonnaise while you're there. Getting flicked off for no reason. JK, flick someone else off for no reason. JK. Probably go to a baseball game and get a hot dog. Getting flicked off for no reason. JK, flick someone else off for no reason. JK. Probably go to a baseball game and get a hot dog. Getting flicked off for no reason. JK, flick someone else off for no reason. JK. Probably go to a baseball game and get a hot dog. From what I've heard from foreigners I've met, just seeing the sheer quantity of squirrels we have is astonishing. Apparently they aren't so prevalent elsewhere. Drive from NYC down through DC and visit the Revolutionary War historic sites. Keep going through the Appalachian Mountains and then down through the Carolinas. The change in cultures and views is amazing. I got taken to a really grimy looking diner in the South. Blew my mind how good it was. As a foreigner, I'd recommend visiting such a place. Hell, as a foodie, I love the diner experience. Leaving the country. Go somewhere. Anywhere. Get a sense of how other people live in their own world. Return and enjoy the welcome home moment. The US has lots of problems but many melt away when you have seen firsthand someone else's homeland. 35 countries and counting. Leaving the country. Go somewhere. Anywhere. Get a sense of how other people live in their own world. Return and enjoy the welcome home moment. The US has lots of problems but many melt away when you have seen firsthand someone else's homeland. 35 countries and counting.